and Michael. But anyway, I'm Blage. My week's been good. I'm the GM. Jeff, who is current. But Mayday.
She's a tanker. Split
Stream just crash.
Those men are gonna die unless we can
reach
reach
them.
There we go. Okay, I'm super good
happened?
at this. Mayday. I had the stream not muted.
Oh.
So, anyway, I'm
I know that
Blage,
feel.
and I am a great streamer, wonderful at it, never better. My week's been amazing. Not really, it's been okay. It's pretty good. I've got a lot of cheese, which I'm eating. It's very good. I've started playing XCOM 2, and
Me too.
I've made the poor decision of playing it on legendary mode, and it's killing me. I've started the game 15 or 16 times already. It's just heartbreaking, because I want to play it on the hardest difficulty. I want to, but it's so hard.
Do you need to start there?
No,
Could you work your way up?
The problem is, if I start on a lower difficulty and then I complete it at that difficulty, like I might not go back and play it at the harder difficulty.
I see.
And when I played XCOM, the first one, I played that on the hardest difficulty, and I suffered through until finally I completed it. But I don't know, like when I played the first XCOM, I didn't have a job, so it's I don't have as much time on my hands. So I might drop it down a notch and cry salty tears. And Dark Souls 3 is coming out. Is it March or April? So I've got that to look forward to.
March.
I'm looking forward to that. But anyway, yeah, so I'm the GM. I work in a lab. It's very exciting. And that's me. So, Mary, introduce yourself to the world again. Nice to see you again.
Yes.
Anything
Nice to be back. I'm a teacher. I also play XCOM 2, but on a normal level, and that's hard enough for me for now. So I like the original game quite a bit as well. No, I don't know what to say actually. I'm quite bad at this as well.
I know, it's weird.
The week has been okay. I'm happy to be here again. Let's see what this episode brings.
Disaster.
Oh, excellent!
And we have a face.
Excellent.
Yes.
No. Hey, Michael, just look at your camera. Good, excellent. You're in the center, right? Got it. Sorry, carry on, Mary.
No, I'm quite done.
You sure? Any interesting tales from school? Have the kids put a Pritt stick up their nose? What age group are we talking with? I forget if you mentioned this.
16 to 19 or something like that.
Okay.
And
so
you're not actually
sticks?
supposed to be talking about them online.
Oh, is it like a
guys.
doctor-patient?
Yeah, sort of.
Ah.
No, but
So you can't wiggle around it by going, well, one did this but not saying their name.
I suppose I could, but I don't have
I'll-
anything exciting. I think I'll
Okay.
skip that.
Okay. So, Jeff, this is your first time on, so introduce yourself. Say hi.
Hi, I'm Jeff. I do nothing at all.
At all?
At all.
Oh,
I just exist.
nothing? Like, how's the weather?
It's horrible.
Are
There's snow everywhere.
Are you living in a certain part of the world?
Oh, I'm on the East Coast, so we're just having like snowstorms every day.
Oh.
So have you got lots of supplies inside your house? Are you snowed in, or is it just
It's
shoveling out
not
into the
bad enough to
street?
snow in. It's just like everyday shoveling. We're gonna have like 3 days of snow.
Okay. And is this your first time playing D&D, Jeff?
It's not my first time playing D&D, but I don't play it often, so I might be a little bit like unclear on rules.
That's okay. And what are you looking forward to most about today?
I'd like to see if we don't die on our first session.
Ooh, excellent.
Well, I
That would
haven't had
be a
anyone
good goal.
die yet. No,
You
not
haven't?
anyone. No one's died.
I heard
last-
5e was like bloody.
Pardon?
I heard 5e was really bloody, like it was really easy to die.
It's super easy to die with first level characters in 5th edition. It's like your weapon does enough damage to kill you. It's just like, but no, I haven't had anyone die yet. I had last week's party got as close to death as you can get. I mean, they got beaten up and robbed, and it was not a happy time, I feel.
Hmm.
But
That gives me hope.
I mean, it was only right outside the start of town, so. Okay, and Michael, tell us a bit about yourself there.
Hey, Michael. I'm actually running another game later today, but other than that, I live on the West Coast. I live in Washington State. Uh, I don't remember how long I've been playing D&D, but it's been a while. I think I've been playing it since like junior high or something like that. But yeah, I'm super excited. I love the West Marches. I'm super excited to be here.
The West Marches, Ipney JP's show?
Yes.
Okay. Well, Stephen Lumpkin is a much better GM than me, so shout out to Stephen Lumpkin. Hello, you're amazing. I'm not, unfortunately. I like to pretend I am, though.
We all do. We all do.
So, are you unemployed? Are you a student?
Oh yeah, I work in manufacturing. I manufacture biologics.
Biologics? Is that like
I
pathogens
work
to
for
kill people?
I work for a company who makes pharmaceuticals, I guess. But they're all like in trial. We like contract other people's pharma. So like somebody wants their drug made for some clinical trial, we make it.
Okay. Sounds good. I might be joining you in 100 years when I actually get a job. No, I'm no. Anyway, and Hentai, it's good to see you again. It's been 3 weeks
Hello.
since I last saw you. Seen you?
Yes,
Saw
I
you?
think so.
3 weeks?
This smile is gonna kill me, by the way. Oof, it's so hard to keep character right there. Alright, so who am I? I study social sciences, I think, in the age group that our lovely teacher here teaches. So that's cool, I guess.
So, Mary, do you recognize his face? Is he a student of yours?
It's not obvious if he is.
Now I see why you're hiding your face, Hentai. Continue.
Obviously. Yeah, that's all.
Anything interesting
I've played-
happened in the last 3 weeks? Been playing any games?
Yeah, I've been playing Mountain Blade Warband. Because
is that,
I have
does that have the guns in it, or is that the later one?
it's the earlier one, medieval, straight medieval. Because
Okay, because
guess it's basically the only game my computer can run.
okay,
I have a really bad computer, by the way.
because I
10 years old. So sad.
because I played Mountain Blade. I didn't play any of the ones that came after it, and I heard the one which has the guns in. The guns are just like, oh, I have a gun, bang, you're dead. It's like, oh. So it's like, haha, I have a horse and oh, there's a guy with a musket. How's the weather been down your end then?
Raining a lot. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think
All
that's
I have
everyone.
to say.
I think that's everyone introduced. So why don't we go along and introduce who you're playing today? We'll start once again with Mary. Tell us about again, Lynn, your character.
Yeah, Lynn is a human fighter, protection fighter who uses her shield for most things, if possible. And last time she was on an adventure trying to find a missing wagon, and they failed rather spectacular, but managed to find some other interesting things and kill some stuff, so she was pretty happy anyway.
Not a complete loss then.
No, not a complete loss.
Okay. And Jeff, tell us about your character, if you will.
Okay, well, today I'm playing Miles. He's a human monk, and I'm basing him off of, like, prize fighters. Like, he's gonna be, like, an unarmed fighter. Just
So
going
it's like,
around, fisticuffs.
Yeah. Will he be going, Whatto? Put them up then!
Put up your dukes. Just repeatedly.
Excellent, excellent. And Michael, could you please introduce your character?
Yeah, I'll be playing Tal. She is a wood elf monk. She grew up in the woods and learned her monastic style after, kind of styled after animals and the way they move and interact with nature. And she's ventured here to fight evil.
So are you going to be Pouncing Tiger? Or Slithering Snake?
Well, I don't think I figured out any like crazy names for everything.
Strike like a hawk, fly like an eagle?
Yeah, lots of tiger palm strikes, I guess. I don't know. She's not very loud and dramatic like that. Just a lot of punching.
Okay.
But 2 monks, I guess. We'll run 2 monks today.
Seems like a good idea.
Should be fine.
And Hentai, why don't you reintroduce Carson Foley?
Alright, I need to read this. Right. He is tall and skinny. He has purple eyes. His skin is pale and he has a red goatee, swirled mustache and back-slicked hair. Wearing the typical cultic hooded garments with daggers at his sides, one with inscribed alien letters. He is the deceiver of chicken sellers, the preaching stripper, the accidental cock grabber, the man, the myth, the legend, Carson Foley.
I'm sorry, but when you listed your achievements like that... Oh dear. Accidental cock grabber. Not related to his chicken, I might add. Well, kind of. Okay, let's get this train wreck on the road, shall we? Beyond the Bridge is set in a time and place where one massive empire pretty much controls all known territory, and it's very dull, very bureaucratic, and very tyrannical. And there is a great body of water called the Great River, spanned by a single bridge, and beyond this, to the west, is the land of Beyond the Bridge. This is a untamed land, if you think like frontier-style cowboys, pew pew pew, but with magic and swords. It's that kind of shtick. And Haven is the last civilized settlement, or so it likes to think, west of the river. And in Haven, there is a tavern called The Last Hope. The Last Hope for good wine, good ale, good mead. And you'll find yourself in or around or approaching or underneath a table somewhere, I don't know. But you'll find yourself together, drawn by wanderlust or desire for plunder or glory, in this large wooden tavern with a central fire pit and a wiry old man hiding behind some big kegs. So, on the books today for quests, there are a number of quests, but before we do that, we're going to handle downtime for the first time on Beyond the Bridge, and we'll start with Mary. Mary, what has Lenora been doing in the downtime?
She's been working hard in the inn, trying to cook and make bread and help the inn business run smoothly, I guess.
Okay. Could you roll a d6, please? Cool. So, in the 2 weeks, you've managed to accumulate 4 gold pieces. You've managed to keep yourself alive. You've been eating relatively good food. You've had the roof over your head. Everything's been taken care of. But in profit, 4 Imperials now rest in your palm. And Hentai.
Well, I have of course been preaching the good word of the Defi.
So you would like to gather support.
Yeah.
Okay, so gather support. Okay, so did you perform any heroic deed in the previous session?
I killed some bandits.
Okay, that's a no.
I stripped myself naked and preached the good word to some farmers.
While that does further your goal, I wouldn't class it as heroic. Do you currently have any followers?
No.
Okay, so in which case, can you tell me what your charisma is?
I need to check up that. Sorry. It's pretty high. I think it's a +4, but I'm proficient with it for saving throws.
Let's see. It's your charisma's 4. Yep, cool. So
18.
could you?
Oh, lovely.
Cool. So if you could please roll a d20 -2 for having no followers, +4 for your charisma, and +1 for your level. So overall +3. Okay, 14. You have gained a single follower. So
Yeah.
in your 3 weeks of preaching, mostly people maybe humour you and listen a bit, give you some alms with which you can survive, a bit of charity here and there. But there's been one fellow who's stopped and listened every now and again, and you notice that he's been hanging around a bit and listening. He's by no means someone that you can order around and send on missions, but he seems to have turned an ear. So you currently have one follower. If you get to 25, you can form a charter, which means you can basically form a cult, and then you can start getting people to pledge themselves to you and send them off to do things. But right now, you're just kind of growing. Okay, so the current job market is a glut for heroes and adventurers to embark upon. There are many missions that are floating around town on the word of mouth or on little scraps of paper nailed to the great tree outside the Last Hope. There is a troublesome tree, which has apparently grown worse as the farmer's son has killed himself. There is still the monster in the mine, which has grown worse as monsters have emerged from within to attack the miners. There is the oasis, believed to have a demon in it, but the rumour is Damien the Templar seems a bit bored about that. He's moved on to other things. There is still the missing wagon, which has not yet been found, nor the small lacquered box, which Xiaodi seeks. But upon reaching the Fort Vigilance of the Empire, a tax would be levied for information, and the previous group did not find this an appreciable thing, and so left. Then there is Carlo. Carlo is the leader of men who have been identified as brigands, and the Duke of Haven wishes him brought to him alive to answer for the crimes of his men. So there is a wanted dead or alive, Carlo, with a crude sketch of some rash-looking man posted outside, and there is the lost records. Templar Damien has posted a note up on a tree which says, "Need some help, come find me." The rumour is he's looking for someone to go investigate a nearby town of ruins to find these documents. So, who's in the tavern? Who wants to describe themselves, and who has an idea for what they want to embark upon?
We all want to Carson's pretty interested in the what's the Lost Records quest. How full you are, obviously.
Okay. So are you sitting at a table and looking around, or have you already gathered these people? Have you gone around and found the adventurers, brought them to your table?
Yeah. Such a hard question. I'm probably just in the tavern, seeing if there's anyone I deem worthy enough to follow me on my quest.
Okay, so what are the rest of you up to then? I'm assuming you walk into the tavern. Do you see him and approach immediately, or is it I'm going to go to the bar, grab a drink? What's the spiel? Let's see some
What
nods.
is the bartender's name?
The bartender's name? Nobody knows. Nobody's talked to him.
Well, Miles has gone to the bar,
Cool.
and he's basically put out the word to the bartender, if anyone's looking for some work, he'll be available, and he's just been drinking the day away.
Okay, so in which case, the bartender points out Lynn Aura and points out Carson Foley to you. He pours you as many drinks as you request. He doesn't offer his name, and he just points them out as they walk in. He goes, "Those."
I look over at them, and which one of you would look more normal?
That will probably be Lynn.
Yeah, I look
human
between
woman
Lynn.
and shield on her back, brown hair and brown eyes, and looks normal.
And Carson?
I look like this, but with a swirled mustache and being really tall. And a
Pale
good teeth.
skin, purple eyes, a cultist robe,
So I look
smiling
at Lynn,
maniacally.
I look at Carson, I look back at the bartender, and I walk over to Lynn.
Okay.
I hear you're looking for companions on
Yes,
your trip.
I was out looking for work earlier, and I feel it's time now again. I have been working here for several weeks, and nothing much has happened. It's such a new town. It feels like there should be a lot of things that needs to be done here to make it a better place.
Okay. Well, I'm looking to sign on with a group. Maybe get some work done.
That sounds good. Have you been looking around what kind of work needs to be done here?
I saw a few postings out on that tree, and I was sort of interested in either like dealing with those bandits. We can't have those plaguing the roads. Or there was that something about ruins. Something about the Templar.
I do agree about the bandits, but at the same time, what I've heard about it, just rumors, it seems that there are quite a lot of them. So maybe start with something smaller. I would be up for looking through those ruins with you.
Okay.
We might need more people, though.
Okay. So at this point, Michael, does Tal walk in? Is Tal about anywhere?
Yeah, Tal's probably been about. She's probably had like a small glass of mead or ale or something, and she overhears talk of probably Lynn discussing the jobs, and she's interested in, and she kind of squints to the corner towards Carson, says, "Well, if we need help with magic, he looks kind of like he might know something. Maybe we should talk to him as well."
I guess we could ask, and if I'm not seeing it wrongly, he seems to actually have the notice from the tree in front of him, so we might have to talk to him.
So do you all like gather as a group and look at Carson from across the tavern and slowly walk over?
Yeah, that
Three
sounds
of us
about
just
right.
staring.
Okay, so Carson, as you're sitting there with the notice in front of you, and you're like looking around for people that might look worthy enough to follow you on this quest, you look up and there are just 3 people that have loomed towards you. Could you describe yourselves, Tal and
Miles.
Miles? I need to write down your names. Where's my notebook? Carry on.
That's why I have a notepad out.
Yeah,
Getting everyone's
I
name down.
normally do, but I'm particularly unprepared today. Sorry, but
No worries.
Tal, describe yourself.
Yeah.
And,
So Tal is a wood elf, first off, pointy ears and all that. But she has copper hair, long copper hair, braided back in a single braid, bright emerald eyes, and kind of tawny skin tone, and she is dressed in mostly robes, like a kind of gray and dull green robes. She's carrying around a staff, and there's a short sword on her belt. She's not very tall, but she seems to be very well built, used to a wild lifestyle.
You saying like 4 feet, 5 feet, 6? 6 feet's definitely not short.
Like-
Sorry.
I think it was lower 5 feet, like maybe she's 5'4", so I guess she's somewhat tall, maybe for average peasant, but not particularly tall for an adventurer.
Okay, then I guess I'll describe Miles now. Whenever I can find his background. Here we go. So Miles is a 6'4", like huge. Wait, 6'4", way too large for a human. Now that I think about
no,
it,
that's fine.
that's
Yeah,
about
it's my
average,
size
right?
as well.
Like humans are people. Have you met a 6'4" person? My brother's 6'4".
Okay, then we're good.
6'4", that would
Yeah, so
be
he's-
We're the same size.
190 or something like that.
Yeah, 190.
Yeah, so he's
Wow,
6'4". He's walking along, so he's this tall bastard. He's got black hair. He's got the, how do you describe it? The mutton chops that go into the mustache. He's the prize fighter. That's why I built him. He's like this huge, like not super hairy all over, just for the facial hair. He's got blue hair
Blue eyes.
and, or no, yeah, blue eyes. Sorry, thank you. That would have been weird.
Well, Well, if you have black and blue hair, are they on different parts of your body?
Black hair, blue eyes. And I chose the noble background. So he's in refinery. He's in noble refinery, just like a white button-up shirt with a black vest over it and black pants.
Okay. So, Carson, you look up from your notice and you see these three people, obviously in a group, approaching you. What's your face like when you look up, and what do you say?
I smile as I always do, and I say, "Lovely, no bards. Would you fellas be interested in a quest? Would you?
We would certainly.
All right.
That man at the tree seems to need quite a bit of help. Would you know anything about magics or nature that might help?
No, I wouldn't. I know many truths about the world, but I don't know anything about nature.
Well,
what kind of note do you have there?
Well, it's a note about getting some records at some ruins.
Who would we be helping?
I like the fact that the lost record note is literally a note with a little picture of the chapel in town saying "Come to me."
Yeah, we should speak to Damien the Pious. He seems like a lovely fellow.
Sure, let's do that.
Okay, so are you all happy with that? Venture forth and go to reclaim these records from the ruins?
Yeah, sure.
Seems like the party's agreed to that.
Any dissenting voices? Anyone want to Shiv Carson, take over leadership, hold the bloody knife high?
No.
Okay, then let's get this on the road. So you walk out of the tavern, and it's a very short walk to the small wooden chapel, and you go inside. Carson, are you going inside? I hesitate to ask.
It's like a religious building, right?
It's a chapel.
Yeah, I'm saying I'll wait outside. You do the talking. I would not want to deal with these heathens.
So inside the chapel, as you enter in, there's an altar with what looks to be like a steel gauntlet set atop it, flanked by two candlesticks, and sitting on one of the pews in this rather small chapel is a man wearing plate armor with his helmet on his lap and a small bottle in his hand, which smells strongly of liqueur. As you enter in, he doesn't immediately turn to look at you. Do you clear your throat, get his attention?
Do we know what the symbol is for? Which religion?
The gauntlet?
The chapel? Yeah.
Nah, it's pretty generic. Some kind of god of war or god of strength. You can give me a religion check.
Okay.
Do we all give a check, or
If
to try to figure it
want
out?
to ask the same question, sure.
Well, I'm curious about this gauntlet. Let's see. So, religion check. Well, I don't know anything.
Okay, so Jeff, you know that you remember reading somewhere that a gauntlet is the symbol of who was it? Oh, it was some tyrannical despot, evil god. It was a clenched gauntlet. Was something about slavery. You remember something about slavery? Lynn, you can't place it. It seems pretty generic. Some sort
That's
of
fair.
strength.
We should be careful.
As you speak, the man sat at the pew turns around slowly. You can see a bit of a 5 o'clock shadow on him, and he looks like a storybook knight. You know, resplendent blonde hair, this chiseled features, but he looks a bit haggard. And he turns around to see you, and he goes, and he begins standing up and shuffling and making himself presentable, which doesn't really work when you're head, neck to foot in metal. And he goes, I'm Damien, Templar. Are you here for service? Service isn't for 4 hours.
We got a note, but I think the person who had the note didn't actually come in with us.
Oh,
You asked about needing help with something.
oh, yes, 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 oh, yes. There's, you see, well, when I came here, I thought that Monk Halbert was live and well, and he's not. Well, I don't think he is. I mean, the town he was in was destroyed a month,
Oh,
maybe 2 ago.
dear.
So I don't think he's alive. But if he is, and if praise, if he is, that would be wonderful. If you could return him whole and intact, oh, that would be. But seeing as how he's probably dead, could you? He's in possession, I think, probably his corpse. Well, he would have been in possession of. He had at some point records upon him of a religious nature, belonging to the Blessed Order of the Valiant, and I believe he would have added to these in his lifetime. And I had wished to, well, I would like to have them. If you could travel to these ruins and find what has become of him and reclaim the records. He was assigned to the church there. I guess it's destroyed now, but if you could find him, that would be good. Or the records could be at the town hall, I guess, or what remains of it. Yes, that would be excellent.
Destroyed? What happened?
Well, folks seem to say it was attacked by those little stunty things with the ears.
Oh dear. Those are nasty things.
Oh yes, so I find they're quite easy to kill, but apparently a whole horde of them rushed out of the trees and burnt the place to the ground. Or so the one guy told me. It's hard to get any information in this town. Nobody travels. If you could tell me more, that would be also very good. It would be wonderful.
I see. How would we get there?
As far as I know, it's just a day or so out of town. If you head, and he like holds up his hand, and you can see him like counting out a compass, and he goes, if you head southwest from here about a day or so, I think it borders the trees on the northern side. So if you break through the trees southwest of here, and then you just kind of follow them southwesterly, you should find the place, or what's left of it. If it's still there, and Monk Halbert is still, could you tell him? Actually, could you tell him nothing and just? Actually, no. I do need those records. Yeah. If you could get the that would be great. Thank you. You would be helping me out a great deal. Unanswered questions that need answering must be answered. Yes. Answering.
And how would that help us? Or
Well-
would you be owing us a favor of some kind? Or
Oh,
what were you
greatly!
in
I would
mind?
owe you a favor indeed.
That's very interesting.
Um,
Is there something else we should know about this? What kind of town was it? What?
Well, I think it's what Haven wants to be. It was a nice little town. And he like looks down at his feet and he goes,
Okay.
I don't really know actually. I know it's a town. They suggest
That-
it's bigger than a farm. And he looks a bit bashful and scratches the back of his head.
And Lynn kind of leans over to the others and says, I don't think he actually knows very much, does he?
I think you're right.
Do we need to do anything more, or should we try for it?
As long as we can find the town, I think we'll be all right. Killing goblins has always been a noble pursuit.
And as
That's
you
very
say,
true.
Goblins, he snaps his fingers and it makes like this cacophonous metal sound. And he's like, ah, goblins! Yes, that's what they were called. Yes, quite.
I guess we go out again and try to head out of town. When we go out, Lynn wants to have a look at if there are any fortifications around Haven. How does it look actually, the town?
Oh, the town doesn't really have any fortifications. It's essentially, if you imagine a lot of small wooden kind of huts and houses, it's surrounded by farmlands. So there's farmers out there and fields and such. Every now and again, you'll spot like there's obviously a militia of some sort moving around, but you don't know where they're based. If you asked, you could probably find the barracks.
Okay.
And you can see that the Duke has his personal guard, which basically seem to you to be mercenaries. There is no like palisade around town or anything of that description, and there is only a couple of large buildings: the general store, the chapel, the tavern, and the Duke's manse itself, which is set upon a hill overlooking Haven.
Okay, so Lynn is feeling a bit worried when she's heard about the nearby town being destroyed and seeing how lightly defended her current base is. But that will be for another time, I guess.
Town is largely unprotected.
Mm-hmm.
Vulnerable.
Vulnerable, yes, exactly.
Okay, so shall we move into travel? So, have any of you had a chance to look at the travel rules, Jeff and Michael?
don't
I have
think
them open
I-
here.
Cool, excellent. So how it works is I'm going to ask one of you to be the scout and one of you to be the navigator. And the navigator is going to use either stealth, survival, or athletics to make the mosey on down for the next 3 days. And one of you is going to be the scout, and it'll be their perception and their stealth I'm using to determine whether things spot you and to determine whether you spot them. So, pardon me.
Who wants to be
Jeff,
what?
could you please roll a D100?
D100.
I
73.
could be.
So
I
the
could guide.
So the weather today is lovely. It's spot on perfect. It couldn't be better if you scream to the heavens, could I have a nice sunny blue sky today? It's
Certainly, the
wonderful.
god has blessed me.
This was me.
I don't know about that.
Okay. So which one of you is open for business on the scouting, and which one of you is open for business on the navigation?
I think it would be very nice to go with survival and try to not use up any rations. I don't know who's proficient in that.
I'm proficient in both survival and stealth, so
Yeah, go for it.
Tal's very of the mind of taking a sneakier route, but
Go for it.
is there anyone who's willing to scout as well, or another person with survival that would rather do survival?
I could. Probably, yeah.
All right, just checking. So I know I have a pretty solid bonus to survival. So if we just want to make sure we get there, I'll lead, but otherwise I'll probably take point and scout.
What do you all say? Having a good scout is always nice.
I'm fine with doing nothing.
Okay.
Cool with that?
All right, I guess I'll scout out. You'll lead.
Yep.
Okay, so Tal, yes, Michael?
Yes.
Could you please give me your perception and your stealth?
Absolutely.
And
one
are you
roll for
wearing
each.
heavy armor of any
No.
sort? So leather,
Absolutely not.
hide. Actually, you're a monk, aren't you? Stupid question.
Yep. Just ropes.
Do your robes flutter gently as you weave between the ground, underbrush,
Yeah.
grass? Okay, cool. So Lynn, if you want to roll up your survival check while Tal tells me his stats.
All right. Oh, you just need the stat, or do you want me to roll it out?
No, just what's your perception and what's your stealth?
Oh, both are +5.
Cool. Excellent. That's perfectly acceptable. Wonderfully,
Yeah.
marching for today is, if I can find... Oh, yeah, it should be there. 5 gets you exactly 1 action, and you can choose from navigate, spend a travel action to know where you should be going, hunt or forage to ignore eating a ration for a day, and safe camp. Spend it, you don't have to worry about your nighttime adventures. And
I think-
while I've got you all here, I was messing around with an idea in my head of adding another action to them, which basically with athletics, it's looking for a fight, so you get to roll on the encounter and fight something.
Excellent.
Stealth is avoid an encounter. You spend a travel action and you don't roll for an encounter that time. And survival, scout for trouble, which is roll on the encounter table and learn what might be out there without actually encountering it. So looking for tracks.
That sounds really nice, I think.
I might implement that in next session or next session because I think I've got like more than 7 days between the Saturday and the next Tuesday. Anyway, not important. So you have one of those 3 actions. Currently.
I'll go for making sure we don't need to spend rations and kind of start moving.
Yep. So if you just move yourself and roll a d100, and I'll go carry on, and then do the aforementioned. So if you could roll a d100. Cool. You're absolutely fine. Carry on. Roll a d100. And if you click up enter, if you just typed /roll, it'll just spit out the last thing. You're still good. So walking southwest from Haven, you quickly burst out from a small brush of trees, and the ground beyond is more grassland, but kind of a bit sparser in the tree region. So move on, roll the d100.
And you said enter and... No?
Up
if you
enter.
if you click up, it'll go to the last thing you typed
Up.
into chat.
Okay.
Yep. So
Next time I'll
Cool.
manage.
And carry on.
Okay, so it said follow it, but it also said southwest, so I'll try this way and we'll see if we have it correctly. Otherwise, south next time.
And roll the d100.
Now I managed it.
Excellent.
Ooh, now something happens maybe.
So you're walking and your legs are beginning to grow tired. Roll another d100, and it's about time for you to settle down and have a nice camp for the night. So you're kind of walking. You haven't set up camp yet. You're just kind of on the lookout for something to sit down by and stretch out your legs. And the GM is very happy because you've encountered something. But what? What have you encountered? 16.
First hour, guys. TPK.
Oh, I'm sure it'll be fine.
We have a
You'll be
good
fine.
scout. It'll be
Yes,
fine.
No problems. No problem.
He's looking down his list. Red Dragon.
Oh well, I'm sorry, but all my options seem to be ancient red dragon, ancient red dragon, ancient red dragon. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't make the random encounter table. Honest.
RNG's just not with you today, guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's not my. What did you roll? Sorry, I'm distracting myself. It was 83.
Yep.
83. Excellent. Do. 83 is 17. You're encountering 17. Excellent. Jolly good.
Okay.
17 red dragons. Weird.
Yes.
Strange how they would all group together.
Tal, could you please roll 2d4?
2d4?
Yes. And
Alrighty.
could you then make a perception test and a survival check?
Perception, survival,
Oh, no.
after 2d4.
Uh-huh.
So here's the 2d4,
Uh-huh.
and then survival and perception. Well, we're
Oh, at least
perceptive.
we're warned.
That's good. That's something.
Yeah.
We have about 6 seconds to pray to our gods.
Before
ahead and
6 or
start.
something descend on us.
You'll be fine. I wouldn't worry about anything.
I don't know, random
DM
tables could
ever.
really...
Dum-dum-dum-dum.
Random tables could go badly.
Interesting.
No, that's what Steven says. No.
Oh, I mean, how odd. Okay. So,
It's 17 again.
Just one more 17
I'm
and
not
we know there's
interested.
real trouble.
I shan't say
Hold
that.
on to your butts.
Okay. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Okay, so... Okay. So as you are walking along, I should probably roll that as well, shouldn't I? As you are walking along. Okay, so
Is higher of worse?
for
Yes,
you,
it is.
in this situation,
Oh.
perhaps. So as you're walking along, Tal,
Yeah.
you see that the area is becoming very like tough and dense. There are no trees around, but the ground is like filled with this vine that's just like sprouting up everywhere, and you kind of having to be a bit cautious and not just run through it so you don't snag your clothes. And you're finding that this is like quite spread out. There's lots of bushes of it. It's a common occurrence. Your knowledge of survival tells you that there's no big deal, and you're walking along, and then out of nowhere, 6 people just stumble into your path, and you see them look at you and smile broadly. They are wearing long, dark red robes with hoods drawn up over their faces, and you can see that their lips are like pale white with like cracks running up and down. And they smile broadly and go, "Brothers, sisters, I had not thought to find you in such a barren land." And they begin walking up to you. What do you do?
Hello, I'm Carson Farley. Who might you be?
Ah, we are the Brothers 6, who come to entreat you with a most gracious offer. Join our Lord and be benevolent in his leadership.
Oh, lovely. Could you tell me more?
Of course I could. I would be happy. And they walk up. What are the other 3 of you doing?
I'm
I'm-
keeping close to Carson.
Stepping slightly back from Carson.
I'm also stepping with Tal, and I'm just like bending over. I'm like, the
Okay.
insane ones are talking to the insane ones.
Okay.
Yeah,
so,
but he's our insane one.
What if their insane ones use magic?
Well, I guess we'll be on even ground. Our insane one can also use magic. We're whispering this, of course.
Okay, so by this time they've got up to you, and you can clearly see they're all kind of similarly attired. They've all got these big dark red robes. They've got little belts round with pouches and daggers. They've got their hoods drawn up, and they pull down their hoods as they get there. And you can see that they've got like smooth, bald heads that are stained, crisscrossed with white scars. Their lips are like peeled and cracked, and they have like kind of like filthy teeth that look like they've been eating raw meat or something. They've got like red stained teeth, and they come up and go, "Of course, have you not heard about Kriamath?"
No, I have not. Could you tell me more?
Of course,
So
I shall tell you more.
interested.
I shall tell you more, and treat upon you why you need to abandon your false gods and worship Kriamorth before it is too late. Before it is too late.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Do they look evil?
They're wearing dark red robes with red stained teeth. I mean,
That's a bad sign.
and they are talking about. You can make a religion check about Kriamorth if you
Oh,
want.
can I do that? Oh,
Feel free. Feel free to make a religion
I'm
check about
proficient in
Kriamorth.
that shit.
Would this be where like an insight check might come into play?
You could also do an insight check as to what they're wanting.
Yeah.
I would like to do that.
Well,
Well, Tal knows.
Okay, so what do we got here? Michael, you don't know who or what Kriamorth is. It doesn't sound like any god you know. Lynn, these people seem like they want to preach the good word of Kriamorth to you. Michael, these people really want you to join Kriamorth. There is no way that you are not joining Kriamorth. That is your only option. Your only option. Jeff, they're spreading the good word of Kriamorth. And Carson, Kriamorth. No, it doesn't ring any bells. No, you have a sideways feeling. I wouldn't say bad because of your particular disposition, but a sideways feeling. For another person, it might have been a bad feeling, but it's definitely sideways for you. So they're talking to Carson and they go, "Ah, yes, you must join Kriamorth before it is too late. Too late.
Too late for what?
Too late
Is
for
it-
you.
Are doom coming to our land?
A doom is coming to all. A great doom for Creamorth will usher in a new reign of blood and tyranny, and if you do not worship him before he sets his first foot upon this barren world, you will be the first to fall. So cast off your fetters, cast away the false gods you
At
have
this
worshipped.
point, Lynn is going to use her shield to try to push the speaker down to the ground. She's had enough. This
Oh boy.
sounds
I will
really
try
dangerous.
to reach my hand in front of her. To stop
Things
her.
are escalating.
Could you please make an athletics? Could you make it with disadvantage because Carson's trying to interfere?
Absolutely.
Do.
Come on, yes. That's
Okay.
okay.
So as Lynn slams her shield into this guy, you see him stagger back, and all the other people except the one that got slammed by the shield draw their daggers. And the one that got slammed by the shield, his eyes go wide, and he looks at Lynn as though seeing her for the first time, and then looks over to Carson and goes, "Your first command from Creamorth is to kill this infidel." And he draws his dagger.
She's indeed a heathen, but I must ask you.
No, they draw their daggers initiative times.
Oh boy.
The time for talking is over.
Yeah,
for XP
when he
is
started
now.
talking about blood, she had enough.
So the conversation that just happened.
I will continue. Is your god mighty?
As they draw their blades, they go, "So mighty that all will tremble if they do not walk in his path," and they begin attacking Lynn.
Why can't we settle this peacefully for a moment? If you can prove to us that he is mighty by aiding us in our quest,
They're attacking.
I will convert.
This is
They're shanked.
They're attacking. So initiative. I think any further talking is in initiative values.
Okay.
So you all have wonderful tokens, and for the people who may be watching this on the interwebs, you'll note that Jeff is in fact Carson. This is not the case. I've just put the image that Carson's little smiley face man has over Jeff. So Lynn is up in the business of A. A's just been cadooshed. Everyone else is rah. Tal and Miles are back behind Carson.
There you are.
Cool. If you can click on your token and roll up an initiative, that would be grand.
Gosh.
Perfect.
Excellent.
This is good.
Yeah, nice.
1, 2,
I'm liking
3,
our
4,
odds
5.
so far.
Uh-huh.
This is gonna be interesting.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So the first time you see Miles in a combat, he just bursts forth at the speed of sound.
Okay. And
He's always ready.
Yeah, just
Are those bushes?
Those are bushes.
they're quite musical bushes.
They are the most musical of bushes. So, where was I? So,
Each square is
Lynn's
5
shield
feet.
bashes this dude. Everyone draws daggers. He locks eyes with Carson and goes, Your first command from Creamorth is to kill this infidel! And he draws his dagger as well and attacks. But before anything else happens, Miles springs into action. What do you do? They've all pulled knives. They are very intent on chopping you up into small little chunks of Creomath offerings.
So each square is 5 feet, right?
Yep. Each square is... hang on, let me make sure that I've... Yeah, I've got everything lined up. It's all good. Yep.
Ooh.
Each square is 5 feet.
Okay, so I am going to rush at F, the F cultist, and
F cultist.
slam into him. Just punch him in the face.
Go for it.
Okay. We can break our movement up over an entire turn, right?
That is
okay,
right.
so that's that's 20 feet. I have mobile feet, so I have 40 feet of movement.
Cool. So you
Okay,
slam
first
into
attack. Where is... I'm learning the character sheet right now, so...
The
in weapons. Okay, so... I think I put everything correct.
it.
Seem...
Excellent.
Did I hit?
Yeah, you like slam this dude, and then your fist punches into his thick robe. You can feel something else beneath, like padding or something protecting him, and you just hear the sound of a rib crack, and he like
Oh.
gives a like a little.
And then martial arts kicks in, and I get another bonus attack.
Go for it. Slam your additional fist into him. And he coughs up blood on you and keels over.
Okay, so I've killed my first man today.
Excellent.
And I dive into the bushes.
Okay, could you please make a dexterity saving throw?
With dexterity?
Yeah, dexterity.
Wrong bushes to dive into. Just
It
maybe.
might be.
It's filled with
spicy.
snakes.
Flying.
Cool.
snakes.
So
that
as
count?
you dive into the bush, you feel
Very slow
the
snake.
thorns tugging at you, and
Oh,
as
no,
you
I didn't.
like leap in, you can see like they're ridiculously sharp and massive. Each one's almost like the length of your finger, and your clothes just begin to get shredded.
No, my refiner!
But with a 22, I think like all that gets shredded is like that one thread that's like ding, and you're like,
Like
oh,
a pin pops off the top.
yeah. It looks pretty sweet. You're I think you're entirely fine. Let me just doubly check. Yeah. You're fine.
Oh, good. No half damage.
Tal, what's up?
All right.
As you see Miles's display of acrobatics, what do you do?
All right. I follow suit. I think I'm going to move next to Lynn. And if I'm right, with the 5th ed system, I can attack A just through the diagonal. That's fine.
Yep, that's
Yep.
fine. Not
Absolutely. All right. I'm going to start off with an attack against him. I guess I just moved. Yeah. Like
Does
15
Tau get
feet.
advantage for having allies next?
No.
Okay.
Or for
They're
A
not
being a
doing any
little
flank.
a bit stunned maybe from the shield bash.
No.
All right. Well, I'll give an attack with my short sword.
So you
Oh, jeez.
thrust your
Nice.
sword forward, and it like pushes through the robe, and then bends aside and like pushes out the left side of his robe. You can tell he's wearing armor underneath the robe. There's no
Okay.
way that wouldn't have skewered him.
I'll see if I can land my martial arts attack afterwards, at the very least.
And then
Oh.
you just slam him.
Oh,
and it, like,
nice.
hits him in the
Nice.
nose. His nose breaks. Blood splurts out everywhere, and he goes, "Oh, you shall not stop, Kriamos!" And anything else to do?
I think I'll end my turn next to Lynn then.
Cool. Ah, you were attacked. So one of these cultists of Priamorth runs out towards you and
I
pulls
put
out
my shield in front of him.
his dagger and just draws it across his arm, spraying blood forward, and then brings it down to you. And as it like swings towards you, it suddenly looks bigger than it was before.
Hasty.
Can I do that?
Yeah, you interpose your shield, and there's just like, and as your shield bounces away the attack, you can see that he is no longer holding a simple dagger in his hand, but a curved sword, easily the length of his arm. E then attacks Lynn. The same thing transpires. He cuts himself, and the blade grows in length. Do. And it like skitters off your armor. Carson, you have been called to battle by Kriamorth the Mighty. Do you stab Lynn in the back?
Well,
Do what
I
you
say-
know in your character's heart to be true.
I'll say, all right, but I'm not really good at this, so I may miss. I'm really sorry. And then I cast Eldritch Blast number 8.
No.
But then I say, I'm sorry. It's an accident.
Okay, make a deception test along with your attack.
I tried to hit. What's her name again? Mary.
Well, does he have to make a deception test if he misses? It's kind of like in the air who he's attacking if he misses with the Eldritch
I
Blast.
don't know. It might like fly near him. He might get an advantage if he misses. Maybe not. But roll up the attack and the roll up the deception.
Well, it doesn't really need advantage.
Yeah. Both of those are pretty good.
Okay, so you slam A in the head and it pops. It just goes like, and
Oh, no.
sprays blood over everyone.
I'm-
And
I'm-
all of them
I'm
just
sorry.
kind of look at A and look at you, and they're like, "Oh, accidents happen." D does the same thing and attacks Tal. Draws his blade across his arm. His blade grows in strength, and he swings down at Lynn. Boop. And chops off her head. Lynn, I'm assuming your armor is 19 or 18.
18 it should be, I think.
So the blade strikes you between the plates of your armor, and you bleed a little. If you just click on your token where the red bar is, -5 it should update. Cool. F is dead, unfortunately. Lynn,
Yeah,
what'd you do?
first casualty.
It was D who just hit me, right?
It was in fact D. Yes.
So I'll give it some payback.
No! It cries out, "You should be dead!" And you slam your warhammer into the cultist.
These
Blood
rolls.
splurts out everywhere, and he's just like,
That was
"Ah!" He staggers back, blood dribbling down his torso. He's like, "I live in the name of Creomore!" C draws
boy.
a dagger across him, blood spurts out, and he charges into the vines to kill Miles.
So he has to make a dex save.
He does.
Can he die on the thorns? Is that possible?
It is possible.
It's
Well,
really
it doesn't
hope it
look
is.
like it is now.
It is not what occurs. And he slashes at you with this blade. Hitting you?
Oh, yeah, my AC is 15.
Cool. Inflicting 3 terrible points of damage as blood clots your clothes. No! And A is dead.
That's 3.
So we're back to Miles, but before that, now might be a good time to take a break for the stream. I'm happy to continue right after if you want to.